You may not have heard of this case, but it's Kira Enders, and she's been accused of cheating on the lottery. She's got a scratch ticket that looks a little bit iffy, so she's in the interrogation room right now in the videos we're going to watch, and they're trying to decide whether she's been cheating or not. Greg, tell us about the videos we're going to watch.
Yeah, Kira was accused of faking a lottery ticket, and the first person she's going to run into is a lottery official who is asking her questions. Let's see how that goes.
Sure, you know, that's for now.
Okay.
We want to talk about the ticket because it is a large question. So, do you know where you bought the ticket?
I don't remember. I went to every single place. I went like 5 million places out. In Defuniak and Freeport, I don't even remember. I had like a whole bunch of them with me.
Do you play a lot of tickets?
Sometimes, yeah. Occasionally.
Have you ever had any big wins?
Not big. I mean, the only one I've ever won myself was like $100.
That's pretty big.
I mean, like, so it's kind of cool. But me, myself, no.
So how much do you think this ticket is for?
I believe it's over $1 million.
Okay.
And something.
Did you play the ticket?
I did.
Oh, cool. So,
I did.
So were you happy when you thought it won?
It doesn't really seem real. I was happy, and I'm like, but I'm not going to count my blessings because, you know, this kind of stuff doesn't happen to me.
Correct. Right. It's very, very unusual, but it's a good win if you can get it, right?
I mean, it would be great help. I'm trying to tell you. Been through it.
So where did that happen? Where were you exactly when you said, hey, look, this ticket's a winner?
My house.
Okay. So to your house, you played the ticket.
Yeah.
Did you go scan it anywhere?
I have tried to scan it like 3 different places.
Right.
And they were all like, it doesn't scan, it doesn't scan, it doesn't scan. So I was like, okay, well, what do I do? And I was like, there's got to be a way. So they told me to come here.
A staff member, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I called up here and they were like, yeah, just bring it in. And then came up here and said, okay, I like your paperwork.
Does anyone else have a claim to this ticket?
I'm going to share it. We're going to split it half and half.
Is that the guy out front?
Mm-hmm.
What is his name?
Dakota.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So let's talk about a new baseline. This is a prepared story. If you don't think it's a prepared story, okay, so. Those are great frame openers. A lot of times I open everything I say with yes, because I do. And it frames everything I'm going to say after, especially when I'm doing TV or something like that. If you miss something, it's still there. It's interesting to watch her because let's talk about a process when people lie. And in the True Crime Workshop that Scott and I have, we have a thing called the liar's loop. And simply, there's no magic to it. There's always a trigger when a person finds out they need to lie. That could be when they murder somebody and they may never have to use a lie for 20 years, 5 years, 2 minutes, who knows. There's also, after that, fabrication. When that fabrication occurs, it's making up things from plain cloth, it's doing whatever, and it's making details that are believable to the person who's doing it. Then you have to deconflict it. And the smarter you are and the more you know in the world, the more likely you are to truly deconflict a lie. But deconflicting is saying, what would I not believe in this story? Because you're not smart enough to think about everything everybody else would. And then after you deconflict, you've got to pitch that lie. And when you pitch that lie, it gets attacked and you've got to defend it. And sometimes when you're defending it, you have to go back into deconflict, think about that, repitch, defend. It's a cycle. And a good interrogator can push you into a dead spiral so that you're defending, deconflicting, pitching, defending, deconflicting, pitching until you just run out of energy. And we'll have to watch and see if he does that. But what we're seeing here from her is a trigger question. There's a trigger question that causes her to know something's changed. I don't think she's smart enough to realize how much trouble she's in still. I think she's in real trouble and doesn't know it. But in the beginning, that body language of it fell out. She's got good body language. She's got great use of illustrators. We talk about using big illustrators. She's making not too much eye contact. Everything looks okay. The trigger question is, did you buy more than one? Bam. She's now thinking, because now there's 2 tickets involved. That's come into the discussion. Whether she's thinking about all the ramifications right here or not, the reason I know that it's a trigger question is because her brow goes up in request for approval. If you got children, you've seen this. When a child's asking for approval and they go, and the cat broke the cookie jar, and then they drop their brow when you release them. Her up-lilt in her voice, it's possible, I can't guarantee. She starts illustrating out of frame. And by illustrators, we mean punctuating what our brain is thinking. And they can be body narration to Chase's point when they're actually drawing pictures of things, or they can simply be a person batoning as they're thinking. And then she says, I usually buy. There's another one. She didn't answer the question. She's saying what she usually does. And the first real barrier we see in the entire thing is her hands come up, interlock, and she pulls them back to her torso. And she keeps eye contact with the investigator, even though he isn't looking at her. That's a cluster, a big cluster. And I think what she has done up to now is to lie is to smile and be friendly. To your point, Scott, she's a professional. And I think, like I said, they can become professional liars because they have to be. And this has likely worked for her. What we have to do is let's pay attention to when a person gets animated. Chase, you talk about the body needing to burn off adrenaline. What we know for a fact is that people speed up when they're feeling stress. And so we need to watch for her to go to really fast or really slow, and we'll look for other impacts on the body. But she's got to be able to pitch this lie, and she's going to have to lie by omission, leaving out things, commission, making up things, transference, taking details from somebody else's life, or embellishment where she makes it bigger than it is. Let's look at and see what we get. Chase, what do you got?
I totally agree. And this rapport building that she's doing to try to build a connection with the interrogator is very overt now. Her vocal volume shifts when she's talking about emotions and taping the lottery ticket back together. And this is a good sign for things that are emotional, but only if all of her descriptions share this excitement. This means that the description should be in other exciting parts, just the same. Her storytelling is pretty detailed and it's emotionally active here. She talked about discovering she won $1 million, no emotion. So she used 2 words, no body movement and no facial expression. And this is a giant red flag. Huge emotion about all this other stuff. And then my house. That was how she described winning $1 million. My house. So she sees that her rapport building isn't working as she hopes as he continues to ask these questions. So she pulls back, sits back in the chair. Her hands go down under the table. She locks herself down for a minute. Then we see confirmation glances to the other investigator, the person who's wearing the body cam we're looking through. She's checking to see if it's working on both of them. And when you see this after a statement, so these things, if there's 2 investigators in there, if it's deceptive, you're more likely to see this confirmation glance after the statement has been made, not during. It's more likely to be deceptive if you see it after. So almost always a red flag here. She says, it's right by my house. Very possible. Ask yourself if you would say this in this situation.
The mainstream media is not broken at all. It is functioning exactly as it was designed. It exists to manipulate you, to divide you, to feed you fear and outrage and distraction while pretending all of that is information. And most people are still swallowing it like it's gospel. I've spent years studying propaganda and psychological operations and human behavior, and I will tell you this plainly. The media is not here to tell you the truth. It's here to shape your truth without you even realizing it. Every network, every outlet, left or right or center, they are all playing the exact same game. Keep you emotionally hijacked, cognitively blind, and addicted to narratives engineered by people who have zero interest in informing you at all. So they manufacture a bunch of division. They amplify lies and they bury stories that threaten their control. This is not journalism. This is mass psychological warfare. This is why we use ground news. It is not just a news app. It is a tactical weapon for seeing through all this fog. Ground news pulls in all these stories from every source, whether it's liberal or conservative or state-run, corporate-owned, billionaire-owned, and they show you these biases and the ownership of who owns the outlet that wrote that article, the spin. And then finally, my favorite is what is being left out of that article. You know, I always talk about let's look for what's missing. They do that at ground news. So you're going to watch these narratives fracture in real time. You're going to be able to spot manipulation like it is lit up in neon. And once you see how disgustingly coordinated all this stuff is, you're not going to be able to unsee it. The behavior panel never really partners with very many brands, but ground news is way different. It puts the power back into people's hands instead of the news. So go to ground.news/TBP, scan the QR code, or hit the link in the description. We've got you 40% off of the same plan that we use. So Don't keep trusting the people reading scripts for billionaires. Stop being programmed and start seeing the depth of what is actually going on.
I don't think that you would confirm the proximity of the store. You're probably talking about going in there a lot, buying tickets there before, having bought a ticket there before, or the ticket there. We don't see any of that, and this is what we often talk about when we talk about people injecting ambiguity into the story. That's exactly what's happening here. Right after this, we hear a non-contracted denial. I do not remember. Then it's possible, but I can't guarantee that stuff. She has no memory of how many she bought, won't admit to buying it at this store, has no idea if she bought any other tickets, and has a weird fuzzy memory about the whole ticket buying thing, and then instantly she declares she bought it with cash, with absolute certainty. That's a red flag, a big one. And as he's asking about the ticket and the tape, she launches into a massive nervous rapport building frenzy and tries to become likable again. Scott, what do you got?
All right. This story, she's prepared and she's structured. And in her mind, she has a specific way this thing's going to go. And she's like, no matter what they ask me, here's what happened. I can't believe this, and you're right. She doesn't get all wired and fired up about having won $1 million. That's the main part that's missing. And that's the part she didn't add in her story because she's been through this a lot. And I'm sure she said this to Dakota. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what we do. I'm just going to say this, isn't it? But she didn't get specific on things. She just said, I'll cover this, and I'll cover this. And that's why she's making these up as she goes, which helps it look more normal or more real, but she didn't deconflict everything. That part of the true crime workshop Greg's talking about, the liar's loop. She didn't go through and conflict everything, which she should have done. And by conflicting, you go through and you say, okay, I'll say this, but what if they say this? I've got to make sure everything can be backed up that I'm saying with that. I've got to make sure everything's okay. And she didn't do that. That's why this story, even though she thinks it's solid and it looks great, she thinks it's not as he starts getting deeper and deeper in this. What are you going to say, Greg?
I was just going to say, I don't think most people have ever met someone as nosy as the four of us when we start questioning, because they've not thought of everything we're going to want to know. We're just going to ask questions that are not reasonable to them.
How many times have you guys been at a party or something, or a get-together, and somebody says something that it just isn't right, it hits you wrong, and your wives have been around you enough to know it's going to hit you wrong, and they look at you and go, don't. And you're going, tell me more about that. And they're like, don't. Oh, Lord. So anyway, as she's backing up, she knows that's when it becomes important for her to sell the story. That's when she's checking both of them out, because this is when the first time she's been put on alert that something might be going off the path that she set up for everybody to follow. And she's going through this. So we're not seeing panic on her face, but we're seeing her go to her backups on these. She doesn't have any. She's making them up, but she's making them up very quickly. And so she's going to her backup stories on these. And he brings up the card damage at the top, and that's when she leans back into the romancing part and looks happy about that. Again, for me, that's a red flag. I like his approach. It really is. It's very personable. It's like, hey, there's nothing going on. Tell me about what's, he's doing the whole tell me about what's happening thing here. Tell me, it's my favorite one. Now, pay attention to the feeling you have. I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to the person watching. When you feel this feeling that you have right now after watching this clip, because that should be your red flag to tell you something's up. These will tell there's something right that's not right here, and your brain sees it and knows it. That's why you feel that way. And when you're out in the wild and you get this feeling, know something's up. Treat it as a red flag. Say, I don't know what's wrong here yet. You don't have to say it right then or call anybody out, but you think about that later on when you leave that situation, because that's important. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so her tonality is fantastic here. And I'm just going to kind of reiterate on the clusters that everybody's seeing by kind of hammering down on this tonality. You're getting this questioning tonality right at the start. Everything is a look for approval on what she's saying. It fell out. I saw it on the outside my car. So she's kind of testing this story, which I think you're right, Scott. She thinks this story is going to work, but she's still in her unconscious testing it until the point where she talks about where the ticket may have come from. And then there's an upward intonation, but it's a stronger, more steady rising one. She knows it came from that location. Just as you put forward, I think earlier, Scott, they know where the ticket's from. She knows where the ticket's from. They've called out, this is where the ticket's from. And that's a moment of truthful tonality for her and excitement because maybe she thinks, oh, if I agree with this, I'm somewhat further towards getting my money. Now, look, something just doesn't ring true for me. Well, a couple of things don't ring true for me. The first thing is with her, and that is if I'm in that room and I've delivered my ticket, and it's a true ticket, I'm just there going, this is fantastic, because this is just all the build-up to when the person comes in with the check and goes, Mark, $1 million. And this is just the due diligence. This is not an interrogation. This is just the due diligence that has to be done before, Mark, we've got something for you, by the way. Would you like to step outside or we've got somebody we'd like you to meet? And it's the president of the organization. And, there's a photograph and all of that. I'm just there for that moment. It's just, and I would have that immense fun that I'm feeling right now around this. She doesn't have any of that. It's all a little too worried. Well, the other thing that doesn't ring true, and by the way, I think just as you guys do, I think the interviewer here is doing a tremendous job, but there's one element where he puts forward the ticket and says, I'm not going to let you touch this. Well, mate, your dabs are all over it. and it's just to let you know, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. If you're trying to protect the evidence of that ticket, your fingerprints are all over that thing. Now, it doesn't matter. You may as well let the dog chew it because nothing has been preserved in the chain of evidence right now. It is not in a plastic bag of any sort. Your dabs are all over it. So that would, if I was sitting in her chair, that would say to me, oh, that this physical evidence isn't going to be good enough. This person's looking for a confession because this physical evidence isn't going to do it in court. It's not good enough in court. And so there's no value to what he's holding in his hand right now. He wants me to give it some value. And of course, I wouldn't. Well, I'd have a winning ticket. I wouldn't be in this position. I'd have a winning ticket. Anyway, that's all I've got on that one. If I seem distracted in the next few minutes around this, it's because there is literally an F-35 that keeps buzzing me.
I heard
there,
that.
And every now and again, I'm like, whoa. Every now and again, I'm like,
cool.
Because they're, it's few and far between that you'll ever get to see an F-35, up close, and it's flying very, very low and keeps going back.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. Having been very close to them, there is nothing that makes you hit the ground faster than an F-35. It's designed to never have to be used, essentially, and just scare the hell out of people. So they just go, I give up. So it's very loud, very close.
Get your phone. That way we can put it in the show. If it flies back by,
all right. If it gets, I might not be quick enough, but I will try to.
Yeah, put it on record or have it ready.
Yeah, I will do.
Cool.
Sure, that's it for now.
Okay.
We want to talk about the ticket because it is a large question. So, do you know where you bought the ticket?
I don't remember. I went to every single place. I went like 5 million places out. And to Puniac and Freeport, I don't even remember. I had like a whole bunch of them with me.
Do you play a lot of tickets?
Sometimes, yeah. Occasionally.
Have you ever had any big wins?
Not big. I mean, the only one I've ever won myself was like $100.
That's pretty neat.
I mean, so it's kind of cool. But me, myself, no.
So how much do you think this ticket is for?
I believe it's over $1 million.
Okay.
And something.
Did you play the ticket?
I did.
Oh, cool. So,
I did.
So were you happy when you thought it won?
It doesn't really seem real. I was happy, and I'm like, but I'm not going to count my blessings because, this kind of stuff doesn't happen to me.
Correct. Right. It's very, very unusual, but it's a good win if you can get it, right?
I mean, it would be great help. Trying to tell you, been through it.
So where did that happen? Where were you exactly when you said, hey, look, this ticket's a win?
My house.
Okay. So you're at your house, you played the ticket.
Yeah.
Did you go scan it anywhere?
I have tried to scan it like 3 different places.
Right.
And they were all like, it doesn't scan, it doesn't scan, it doesn't scan. So I was like, okay, well, what do I do? And I was like, there's got to be a way. So they told me to come here.
A staff member, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I called up here and they were like, yeah, just bring it in. And then came up here and said, okay, I like your paperwork.
Does anyone else have a claim to this ticket?
I'm going to share it. We're going to split it half and half.
Is that the guy out front?
Mm-hmm.
What is his name?
Dakota.
And so I do have the ticket right here. This is the ticket. I'm not going to let you touch it, but does it look like it?
Yes.
And is that your name on the back there?
Yes, it is.
Did you put your name on it?
I did.
Okay.
In the office here.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you, how did the ticket get written?
Okay, so it was in my car, and I guess it had fallen out, and I didn't realize when I got out, and it was in the rain, and I seen it the next day, and I was like, oh my God. And I tried to scratch it before it was dry, and it just was falling apart. And so I was like, oh my God, let me tape it so it doesn't fall apart anymore. So
did you tape it like that?
I did.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh my God. I just didn't want it to get more ruined than it was. As I was scratching, it was winning, and I was like, no.
Well, I can understand that part for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So this ticket, so I ran this ticket.
Okay.
Right? And it originated at Winn-Dixie in Defuniak Springs.
Yeah, that sounds about.
Is that possible?
It's right by my house.
Okay.
Very possible.
When you bought this ticket, did you buy any others?
I do not remember. I usually buy them in more than one.
Gotcha.
So it's possible, but I can't guarantee that.
And why this game? Do you like this game?
I just randomly picked it.
I gotcha. Right.
Because I never get like I usually get the cheaper ones, you know.
How much was that ticket?
$50.
Dang, God.
I know. I was like, I'm going to get this one a chance.
Did you buy it? Do you remember if you bought it with your debit card?
No, I didn't. I bought it with cash.
Okay. Did you put the ticket, so after it was ripped, did you put it back together like this? Or did somebody else?
No, I did all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't do that. I got my mess it up. But I was like, I can't take it off now. Oh,
Right.
well.
Yeah, I got you.
Is what it is.
Did you do any other changes to the ticket?
No.
I noticed at the top, it's a little high, meaning that somebody cut apart the stub.
I was trying to take the tape off because I thought it was going to, to sign it and stuff, and I was attempting to see what it would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that was a bad idea.
Okay. It is a pretty bad idea.
Yeah. So I was like, let me not ruin that. Let me stop now.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
This is guilt behavior, over-the-top rapport building, mismatched gestures, story corrections on the spot, injecting ambiguity into the whole case, discounting and dismissing the availability of corroborating evidence. The tickets are back at my house. They're not in the car right now. Just dismissing stuff that could help her. Massive red flag. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, look, for me, if I were in her position right now, this level of detailed questioning that's coming with this person, like what's the guy's name outside? What's your relationship with that person? I would be like, that's none of your business. That's a winning ticket. Get me the money for my winning ticket. We had a deal. I bought the ticket for $50. You issued that ticket. I bought it for $50. We have a contract now. It's a winning ticket. Fulfill your contract. Get the guy with the money and let's have a party. Like who I'm with, zero. There is zero need to know who I'm with, what their name is, what's the relationship, all the other tickets that I've bought. Do I think my fingerprints will be on it? Do I think their fingerprints are on it? Yeah, I'd be like, listen, mate, your fingerprints are all over my winning ticket. Get me the money now. So all of that just leads me to feel like she could be super compliant. I mean, she could be just like, I guess I need to answer these questions. And I guess I need to say if the fingerprints are on it. Either she's super compliant or she's absolutely made up the ticket and she knows it. And I don't know, like, I'd be getting that. If that were the case, I'd be like, how do I get out of this room immediately, by the way? And like wind back time somewhat, you know? So that's all I got on that one. Greg, what you got?
Yeah, you know what I would do? I would lean over if I were getting this kind of pressure. I'd say, can I call a friend? They'd say, yeah. I'd say, call Robert Barnes for me, please. I would have a lawyer right now if this were going on with me. There's no way I'd be sitting there. Well, first of all, I'm not likely to be the kind of guy who is going to do something this dumb. I mean, this is dumb. Of all the things you can figure out, this is dumb. There's a lot of things you might do to try to figure out how to get $1 million, like use a gun in a bank that has less evidence than this. That's the problem when you bring in something this contrived. I think she's starting to realize it's a big deal. And I always say good interrogation is anxiety brokering. By that, I mean I build up anxiety where I need it. I take it away where I think I want you to go, and you'll go to that area. He does a nice job of that. And the reason I say that is he starts off by asking her about who helped. And when he does, she shows a whole lot of information. First thing she does is she says, nobody. And then he said, what about fingerprints? When he says fingerprints, you see a grimace, that grimace of fear, kind of like the
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit,
yeah.
Little dog, the smile of, you see that fear, and maybe even a grief muscle, this little muscle here. You see this little arc up at the top of your head. That we can't tell for sure because it's a little bit grainy, but it sure looks like it. And that fear dissipates off her face slowly. And we always say, any emotion should dissipate slowly if it's genuine. Then she goes into a nervous laugh. This is cluster 2, by the way. The grief muscle, a nervous laugh, retreating into her chair. Hands are now entrapped. We're not seeing her illustrate moving her hands at all. And then he gives her this out, which is a beautiful thing. He goes back to the topic of where she bought this ticket. And now she gets to use her defend skills that she's thought up. And I think she sees it's a lot easier to talk about where she bought the ticket and that information than it is for her to talk about this Frankenstein ticket she's created, this thing she's carved together. So I think she's in a bind, and he did a really good job of letting her off the hook. He knows where there's some areas, and she just incriminated the other guy if, in fact, somebody's going to jail. It's not just her. They're both going together. Scott, what do you got?
All right. I think he's putting her on notice by talking about the fingerprints. That's when she starts getting worried because this guy's fingerprints would be on him. She knows
laminated.
that. Do what?
They're laminated on it.
Yeah. Because, she said, what do you think? And he looked at it and said, yeah, it looks real to me, baby. Let's do it. This brilliant move, by Dakota. So his fingerprints are on it. And that's the way they're putting her on this, just adding that little additive of fear to that. So, and then what happens with her, she sits back so fast and has that weird little fake smile. And the fading facts on that are classic. This whole thing just reeks of deception at this point. So then she starts adding these little qualifiers to what's happening about. She's got a feeling about this and that. And she's got the feeling she's not being believed. I think this is where she starts going, something's up. And this is where her body language starts to change from that being all open, her hands up on the table and scooted forward and her chest out and her neck exposed and all that. That all starts shutting down at this point. So those little cute quips and things she's saying, those aren't working anymore. They're not working anymore. And again, she's a professional. When you're dealing with hairstylists, everybody loves them because they're good at that. They're not all like this woman. They're not all being dishonest or anything like that. That's why everybody loves them, because you can go in there and relax and you don't have to say much and they're going to handle it. They're going to be nice to you and you're going to be able to talk. And it makes you feel good because you feel like you're having a conversation when it's mostly them. They know what to ask. They know when to throw things in if you don't know what to say. If you want to learn how to talk to people, if you're shy, go get your hair cut. Go get your hair done. Get your hairstylist and talk to them. That's why Greg is so pitiful when it comes to conversations. He can't talk to anybody because he doesn't get the exposure to that we all enjoy and get.
And so I do have the ticket right here. This is the ticket. I'm not going to let you touch it, but does it look like it?
Yes.
And is that your name on the back there?
Yes, it is.
Did you put your name on it?
I did.
Okay.
In the office here.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you, how did the ticket get written?
Okay, so it was in my car, and I guess it had fallen out, and I didn't realize when I got out, and it was in the rain, and I seen it the next day, and I was like, oh my God. And I tried to scratch it before it was dry, and it just was falling apart. And so I was like, oh my God, let me tape it so it doesn't fall apart anymore. So
did you tape it like that?
I did.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh my God. I just didn't want it to get more ruined than it was. As I was scratching, it was winning, and I was like, no.
Well, I can understand that part for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So this ticket, so I ran this ticket,
Okay.
right? And it originated at Winn-Dixie in Defuniak Springs.
Yeah, that sounds about.
Is that possible? That
It's right by my house.
Okay.
Very possible.
When you bought this ticket, did you buy any others?
I do not remember. I usually buy them in more than one.
Gotcha.
So it's possible, but I can't guarantee that.
And why this game? Do you like this game?
I just randomly picked it.
I got you. Right.
Because I never get, like, I usually get the cheaper ones, you know.
How much was that ticket?
$50.
Dang, God.
I know. I was like, I'm going to give this one a chance.
Did you buy it? Do you remember if you bought it with your debit card?
No, I didn't. I bought it with cash.
Okay. Did you put the ticket, so after it was ripped, did you put it back together like this? Or did somebody else?
No, I did all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't do that. I was like, I might mess it up. But I was like, I can't take it off now. Oh,
Right.
well.
Yeah, I got you.
Is what it is.
Did you do any other changes to the ticket?
No.
I noticed at the top, it's a little high, meaning that somebody cut apart the stubble.
I was trying to take the tape off because I thought it was going to, like, to sign it and stuff. And I was attempting to see what it would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that was a bad idea.
Okay. It is a pretty bad idea.
Yeah. So I was like, let me not ruin that. Let me stop now.
Okay, is that everybody? Or Chase, did you go? You went.
Yeah, he went.
That's all of us. Okay. I'm gonna give it to Greg. Well, no, dang it, Chase, that was good, man.
Thank you.
Do that again. Let me see that again. That was, man, that looked thought out, dude. Oof.
So the reason we're here is the ticket. The problem with the ticket is there's security controls inside the ticket.
Okay.
And what the security controls tell me, and also what the ticket number tells me, is this is two separate tickets taped together.
Is it?
Right. And what it actually is, it's a non-winning ticket
Oh, go figure.
made into $1 million ticket.
What?
Now, I'll tell you how you can see that. Right?
They don't go together?
No. Right here, this is the ticket number. See that number is 019?
That's a 088.
Oh, I'm sorry, 018?
Yeah.
Right? If you look at the bottom, this is the ticket number.
That's what I was wondering. And I was like, why does that not match?
Right.
And I was like, I thought that's what it meant if you win. Oh, I didn't know that.
So did you tape this together after you saw that?
Yeah, after I saw that it was winning, but then I saw the number. I was looking at the numbers and I was like, those don't match, huh? That's odd.
Did you tell anyone at the front? Like, why is this so weird? Why wouldn't you?
No, I didn't even think about that.
So when it was weird, you just went there?
I just saw it was, that's what a winning ticket was like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you play a lot.
I mean, not a lot, no, but I play somewhat.
Well, you buy more than me, probably, because you say you're buying a few in a bunch.
No, I mean, every now and again, yeah.
Obviously.
Have a little bit of money. I'll pay for a couple.
Okay, so that's a moderate player, I guess. I'm thinking moderate players kind of understand the games they play. You know, like win or lose.
Sometimes I don't. I just be scratching them. But I mean, I was like reading the directions and everything. I thought I was doing it right.
Right.
But apparently, there was more to it. I don't know about.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So here it comes. We're finally going to hear from this guy. This is the reason we're here. He's going to make an accusation. And we expect when an accusation comes for a person, let's assume that this was $1 million ticket, and all I do is tape it back together and laminate it and do a couple of other things to it along the way. What do you think I would respond when you said this might be a fake ticket? I would probably be like, what? Because my brain needs time to process a new data point, especially one that might alter the future of my life. But hers doesn't. Before he's finished with the words, she's already starting to talk. So she knows she doesn't fake disbelief very well. There's not that, she's got something to say immediately. And her face all goes to the center, almost like disgust with what? It wouldn't be that. We know what shock looks like. Charles Darwin knew what shock looked like. We know what surprise looks like. We don't see any of it on her face. So there's something missing. Then we see Scott, since I went first, you're going to have to say you agree. She does one of the biggest single shoulder shrugs with a chin point that you're always talking about is deception that we have ever seen on this show. And then she tries to explain away those two serial numbers with, I thought it's what it means if you win. Cluster 3 shows up. Now she's a queen of clusters to me because we don't see this many clusters very often. She does that single shoulder shrug with a chin point. She does a nervous smile. She does, Scott, your fading facts thing with, I didn't know what that kind of trails off. And her illustrators are absolutely gone. She's almost inanimate there. She's answering before she can finish the statement, and there's no shock and disbelief anywhere in this thing as you watch through. Just watch her. She gets right on top of it. This is a good example of why I said you're only as good as you're smart when you're deconflicting. And why, if you're talking to an interrogator, we're the nosiest people on earth. And I personally am not. I don't care about most people's lives until I need to know about them. Then I'm going to dig in to a level that you have never seen. I just start pulling on threads until I get there. This is a really good example of a person deconflicting in a vacuum or deconflicting while stupid, one or the other. I don't know which, because she thinks that she's thought her way through everything that would happen, and she just clearly hasn't. She doesn't understand the facts. Those two numbers she's not thought of before. And then he lets her talk again about how often she plays to get her back to full baseline and back to talking normally. So he's doing a really good job at showing her the ledge and pulling her back. I call that threshold thinking. When you're pushing a person, if you push too hard, they'll close up or they'll get an attorney. But if you just keep showing them the ledge and backing them up, you can get a lot of information out of people, and it is powerful. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this one kind of horrifies me, really, because if you're going to do fakery, if you're going to do fraud, if you're going to do, any of those kind of trying to maneuver around the system in some way, you better just do your homework. Like, you've got to be intelligent. It's not for stupid people. It's for really intelligent people. Real great rule breakers have a level of intelligence. And so it's like, this for me is like when I sit with my tax accountant and I go, well, hang on. So what if I do this, 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 and this? And he goes, no, they saw that coming in 1962. I go, okay. So what if I move this to here and we do this over here and this over there? Go, yet they made a law about that last year, Mark. Okay. So what if we do this, and this? Yeah, Mark, they've seen that one coming as well. Like, they have countermeasures for everything. They've seen you coming way ahead. We're only hearing about, there's this one countermeasure that they have, which there's a, from what I can understand, a number at the top and a number at the bottom, which means, and my guess would be, is that is a unique number per ticket, and the unique number at the top has to match the unique number at the bottom. And that's only the countermeasure that he's telling us about right now, because I guarantee there are many more. What
that means, Mark? Somebody has done this before.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, Mark, you just had Exhibit A in your tax evasion case, so be careful.
Right. No, I've seen them coming as well. We've all seen each other coming. We've all seen each other, and we've called a stalemate, I think. So ultimately, this is just the countermeasure that we're being told about. There could be so many other countermeasures in there, some that would be visible to the eye, some that would be invisible to the eye. Who knows? Because many people have tried this, and they've also gone, what if somebody did this? Here's how you could do it. Let's countermeasure that up front. So it's just a level of stupidity. And she's even denying the clear evidence that's there, going, I thought that's how it should be. And now she's getting defensive, I would say. He says moderate players understand the game. She says, sometimes I don't. Well, that's just now defensive. Just defensive. And there's a number of other defenses in there. Terrible. She's being an idiot, and she's now being a defensive idiot. Yeah, it's horrible to watch. Chase, what do you got on this one?
I agree with you all completely. But let's talk about patterns for a second. Since y'all covered a lot of what I was going to. When you see somebody navigate their way through stress and potential conflict and fear, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet of data. And behind that is a lifetime of behavioral patterns that all come out to do some work. And this is about the way that they survived conflict as probably children. And there may be exceptions to this. I have never seen one in my life, not one time. And this goes back to how we navigate conflict as we mature and develop into adults. And this kind of solidifies and turns into concrete as we become grown-ups. So not only are you seeing childhood behavior come out of an adult, you're now able to predict their future, how they're going to behave in the future. And you can influence them by making them think their strategy is working, or you can build stress by making them think the strategy is not working. Like, imagine if this detective didn't give her one single sign that she was effective at building rapport at all. No response. So there's a lot you can do with that. And you're going to really see how they see the world. So if that person sees this behavior as producing successful outcomes, then you know exactly what their insecurities are, how they define a win or a loss. And I wish I had time to go deep into this. I did an entire YouTube video about this on my channel just a couple of weeks ago. And if you go, you'll see it. It's called Social Gravity Formula. But what patterns are we seeing here? Flirtation, all the classic signals, rapport building, like stress stories. Let me share this story about how I did something silly, which is this vulnerability aspect. Artery exposure, displaying vulnerability to get credibility. Vulnerability equals credibility. So it's obvious that there is a dump truck of likely deceptive stuff here, but I wanted to throw this in because I think if you get good at seeing this in your day-to-day, it's going to really change your life. Was that the last one?
No, it's me.
No, Scott, go ahead. Sorry.
So when her acting, when she says what, here's what would happen. When if you learn that your ticket, there might be a problem there, and they might think you did it, you're going to say, wait a minute, this is what I thought it was. You'll realize it's your fault. And then you're going to panic about getting in trouble. You're going to be worried about them thinking, you'd say, wait a minute, man, I know, hold on a second. You're going to think it wasn't me. I didn't do it. That would be the thought process. This isn't what it looked like. And that's where you would start, right there. But that doesn't happen because she's talking about how she even noticed that glitch with the numbers and stuff, right? And she thought it meant she won, like you were saying, Mark. I mean, come on, you know it's a problem, but you think that means something else? No. I was checking to see if I was muted there. You guys get that look on your face. And then at the end there, her shoulders are bowing inwards. She's got those illustrators she's using as a barrier. That arm goes up and she's barriering with that. And then, of course, we hear fading facts at the end. And that big smile is gone. Talk about a cluster of stuff going on that says something's not right here. That's a big one. That's big. You guys covered everything else, so I'll leave it there. Yeah, man.
So the reason we're here is the ticket. The problem with the ticket is there's security controls inside the ticket.
Okay.
And what the security controls tell me, and also what the ticket number tells me is this is two separate tickets taped together.
Is it?
Right. And what it actually is, it's a non-winning ticket.
Oh, go figure.
Made into $1 million ticket.
What?
Now, I'll tell you how you can see that. Right?
They don't go together?
No. Right here, this is the ticket number. See that number is 019?
That's a 088.
Oh, I'm sorry, 018?
Yeah.
Right? If you look at the bottom, this is the ticket number.
That's what I was wondering. And I was like, why does that not match?
Right.
And I was like, I thought that's what it meant if you win.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So did you tape this together after you saw that?
Yeah, after I saw that it was winning, but then I saw the number. I was looking at the numbers and I was like, those don't match, huh? That's odd.
Did you tell anyone at the front? Like, why is this so weird? Why wouldn't you?
No, I didn't even think about that.
Okay. So when it was weird, you just went there?
I just saw that's what a winning ticket was like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you play a lot?
I mean, not a lot, no, but I play somewhat.
Well, you buy more than me, probably, because you say you're buying a few in a bunch.
No, I mean, every now and again, yeah. You know,
Obviously.
have a little bit of money. I'll pay for a couple.
Okay, so that's a moderate player, I guess. I'm thinking moderate players kind of understand the games they play. You know, like win or lose.
Sometimes I don't. I just be scratching them. But I mean, I was like reading the directions and everything. I thought I was doing it right.
Right.
But apparently, there was more to it I don't know about.
Well, let me ask you about the back part.
Mm-hmm.
So you see on the back part right here, where the weights stay together, see how the words don't even match up? Did you notice that?
I did not. They do, though. Installments and installment. I just didn't take it right. It does. But no, I did not. But to me, it matches up.
It actually does. It's from the ribs are different.
I mean, to me, it looks like.
I got it.
I don't
So,
honestly how it's different.
so the ticket's problematic for you. And the reason why it's problematic is because you signed some documents that said this ticket's mine under penalty of perjury and under penalty of fraud.
Right.
The ticket's not altered. It's not.
I just stuck it back together. I didn't know.
Well, you have to understand the position we're in. You're saying you honestly did that.
I did. I mean,
But-
I just stuck it back together. I thought they went together.
So what's the probability of two tickets getting ripped?
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that goes together.
It doesn't.
I don't know how it doesn't
sure.
go together. There's no way.
So we have a laboratory in Tallahassee. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
And we take the tickets apart. And
I'm not understanding because I don't see how it would.
this was 100% two different tickets.
I mean, I see what you're saying
I'm
with the
asking
numbers.
you.
I'm getting that, but I'm not understanding how that's crazy.
I'm asking you that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how that it could be two different tickets, but I see what you're saying about the numbers.
Right.
I do.
Well, I'm not trying to trick you with any falsehood. This is actually two different
That's
tickets.
crazy.
100%.
I don't. My brain is all from the trauma. I don't remember everything, but
What kind of trauma?
my life I've
All
gone
right.
through like shit.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But today, there's no trauma for you, correct?
I mean, I wasn't expecting to be interrogated,
Sure.
but not necessarily it's trauma.
Gotcha. You feel comfortable talking about this? Tell us the truth.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't feel intimidated or anything. I'm just like kind of shocked
Well, you just want to get down to the bottom.
and confused because I was like, it's not about the money to me at all. I would never do anything like that. I walked away from making like 40 grand a month, like,
Sure.
and my divorce. I just walked away.
Mm.
Like, yeah, it helps, but I could care less about it.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. The interviewer here says they don't match up. He's talking about, I guess, the terms and conditions maybe on the back, the writing on the back. They don't match up. She says, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, hang on. You've already conceded that the numbers don't match up at the top and the bottom. So it's irrelevant, even if the terms and conditions on the back matched up perfectly, even if you'd managed to do that. And my guess is they must do some different kind of variations of the printing on the back of tickets so that it would be almost impossible for, I mean, that's a countermeasure that I would put in, and listen, if you're not using that one, you may want to. So it's very difficult to match them up because you do different printing orientations. So it's all so irrelevant whether it matches up at the back or not. The two tickets don't match up. It's not a winning ticket whatsoever. The only question is were you trying to put together this ticket in order to fraudulently pretend it was a real ticket? Or is this an accident? And she has, at the moment, no story for why the accident of that would legitimately happen. But what she does have a story of is trauma, divorce, that she's walked away from $40,000 a month, and it's not about the money. So she has no legitimate story about why this ticket would come together in the form that it has. But she does have a story of being a victim and having some kind of ethical superiority over everybody. And that is a problem. Because if I were accused, as is really starting to happen here, being accused of fraud, I wouldn't go, but, I'm a good person. And so, and I've walked away from this. It wouldn't be about the money for me. I'd go, look, it isn't. If something fraudulent has happened here in your mind, it's because of an accidental circumstance, which was not my volition at all. Now, that might not even be any good in court, quite frankly, because if you break the law that you didn't know you were breaking the law and it was an accident, sometimes won't work for you. And sometimes it will. But ultimately, she's telling the wrong, if she was even trying to lie well, she's telling the wrong story to even get that past. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, Mark, what I call what she's doing here is putting lipstick on a pig, because what she's doing is she is trying to solve the wrong problem. This guy knows what he's doing, and my guess is, Mark, it's not even anything brilliant, like the letters don't match up. It's just a bad arts and crafts job when they cut the tickets and put them back together. They didn't think of that, and then they're like, what do we do now? So there's a good one for you, Scott. Get that face. But she probably didn't notice it, and now she thinks she can fix it by talking. And this is in her space. This is the organism doing what made the organism successful, all that smiling and all of that. It's what she's gotten away with her whole life, and now she's gotten through every situation she's in. Now she's going to deconflict this problem. And Mark, I agree with you 100%. If the serial numbers don't match, your arts and crafts don't matter. You'll get plenty of time for that in jail. We'll just give you some time to get better. But there's another cluster. Here's cluster 4 from the Queen of Clusters, the best one we've had. This is my favorite kind of criminal because she's dumb. She's dumb. I mean, she might be intelligent in some place, but she's dumb in her approach here. She's got a request for approval. When he starts going at her, and there are 2 other ones here coming, but there's a cluster where she does request for approval. Hey, no, I didn't do that. Cadence of speech changes, slows down. She loses coherence. She mumbles. She can't form a sentence. And she has hard eye lock. Those 3 things that are around voice, cadence of speech changing, loss of coherence, and mumbling, indicate that there's another task running in her head rather than communicating with him. Now, I can't tell whether that's a limbic task, meaning the limbic system just said, get out, get out, get out, and you can't think, or she's trying to think at the same time she's talking. Can't tell, but one of those 2 things is occurring to her brain, and maybe both, because both can be true. When she's confronted with that thing outright that she taped this thing together, then she starts to turtle. And we say turtle, we mean your head shrinks down into your body, your neck shortens. Really easy to tell because her neck is long and elongated, and you see it shrinking. See a grief muscle, these brow thing here, it's 5 muscles connected together that originally Darwin came up with the term, the grief muscle. And then she's qualifying, I'm pretty sure. Now she talks about her trauma. I would try to get out of it this way. And then she does something I would call disclaimer soup. There's not one time she says, I didn't do that. She dances all around it. She says, I don't know how that could be. It's not about the money. I would never do anything like that. Resume statement with pauses in there. When she says 40 grand a month, she says like 40 grand a month. Well, was it 40 grand a month or not? So there's all kinds of stuff in here that indicates her brain is scrambling for help. And I think what we saw was limbic, and now she's trying to come out of that limbic and try to outthink what's going on. But she just doesn't have the horsepower, is my opinion. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, and I completely agree. And with this behavioral pattern, it makes me wonder what's been done before. What happened before this? Because this we typically see patterns in human behavior, and this is probably an extension of something else. But here's one that I'll share with you right here. I don't think you'll find anywhere else on any analysis. And I have no idea if there's some kind of a study or whatever to back this up, but I've seen it 100%, and I'm actually curious if you guys agree with me on this one. I have not seen an exception to this after 25 years of studying this. When someone is presented with a physical piece of evidence, like think about Colonel Russell Williams with the boot prints, or this woman here with this ticket, innocent people will focus mostly on the interrogator. Guilty people will lock onto that piece of evidence that's presented on the table. They'll be looking up at their face like, this is not relevant to me, trying to figure out what their intent is with bringing this up on the table. And we see her lock on to the ticket as he's talking about all that stuff and correct him and all this. And then we have a non-contracted denial, increase in fidgeting, grabbing her phone, which is a very common security blanket. She's holding on to that thing. You know, she picks it up. It's the first time she's holding it. She's even gesturing with her phone in her hand. She has classic red flags that we see way too often. She says, how, instead of it's not possible or you made a mistake. How? That's like the one time we heard somebody make an accusation that someone did something and they went, where?
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Michael Peterson.
Michael Peterson.
Michael Peterson.
That's right.
Chase, your point. That's Hans Scharf would agree with you. He would have said file and dossier is a target. You push it out there, what you call your thwack, the same thing. He would have said put it there and look and see if they focus.
Yeah.
So there's study to support you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So midway through, she stops making eye contact. I think, unless there's some parallax effect with this fisheye body language or body cam thing, it looks like his eyes would be kind of up here for her, and it looks to me like her eyes are like down here, like at his waist level almost, which is just weird. But she started off pretty fluent, but her gestures have become very Kamala looking here. Very stiff, kind of rigid fingers toward the end of this thing, and they're not really matching up to the rhythm of her speech. See a lot of that going on. That's all I got.
Right. Why don't I go?
Wait, I thought you went, Scott. I thought you went right before Greg did.
No.
No, I think you did.
No, I didn't. For number 5?
Yeah.
No.
All right. You can, fine. Go a second time.
Well, you got, if you must.
You guys don't care.
We were trying to gaslight you.
It's
I'm
working.
sorry, man.
No, it's no big deal. So anyway, if this happened to you, and all of a sudden, and you thought you won, and like goes back to what you were saying, Mark, you go in there going, hey man, and if you really thought you won, and this started, and they got to this point, you'd be mad. Not just mad, you'd be like livid. You would be angry. And you'd be, I know I would be. Let's pretend if I went in there and they started this. I'd be like, hey man, you trying to rip me off. What's going? I'd call them everything but a Christian. I'd get up in it and I'd be mad and angry. Anybody would be, because you're thinking that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to cheat me out of this. And she doesn't go there. There's no indignance. There's no anger. There's no over the top anything. She just starts shutting down. He even gives her a shot. He even says, I'm not trying to trick you. That should be her jump off point right there. She hasn't up to then. So I don't know, I don't know why she doesn't know to be angry. That's the thing. She just bad planning. She didn't plan on this happening. And if she thought it was going to go sideways, she thought she could say some other things that would shore that up and make it okay and stay on the path. Then we're hearing these fading facts writ large on this as she goes down to vocal fry, where she's almost talking like a frog. It's so low and gravelly. So at this point, she's going into defense mode, and that's what we're going to see from in the next video. How's that? You guys feel okay about me talking there at the end?
Once in a while.
Give me a chance.
You didn't say I had to go last.
That was good.
So our plan
this,
worked.
It was better your second time doing that analysis of that clip.
I'm glad. Yeah, I
Great.
covered. Yeah, I cleaned my language up on that one. What are you thinking about, Mark? What's going on over there?
Well, just whether you needed, just whether we really,
Yeah.
would it be better with just 3? We just have a blank, just a black square for you, just like a nothing, Or
I
To
can't-
have your pyramid.
Yes.
That's right.
Try it.
What a name, too, man.
Much better.
Maybe I should bow out. You guys, the pyramid. And I'll get Dr. G.
We'll keep you on for a bit. We'll
We'll start a channel. And Spidey, we'll be a pyramid.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you think about that? And then we'll have body language battles, behavior battles.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do after that. It'd be us versus you guys. Used to be upstairs versus downstairs. You notice Greg didn't jump in for defense at all.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it's become me. That's what I would do.
The
Yeah,
second
Dr. G.
series, let's do like body language survival, like to the 2 separate panels, like go camping. Like
I'll get Dr. G and Spidey.
Right.
We'll be 3. You guys.
I think the 3 of us are going to win because Mark is smart enough to go. Those 2 have lived in the woods.
Yeah.
And you got pictures of the woods behind you. Is probably your closest.
Yeah.
Oh, you could have squirrels.
Yeah, but but I'm going to be with a magician and a psychologist.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but
going to be
Scott,
really helpful.
They starve
Scott
in
would
the woods.
befriend the squirrels to the point where he'd feel bad killing them.
I would befriend the enemy, which would be you guys. That's what I'd do.
You'll still starve. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lord knows I need it.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you about the back part. So you see on the back part right here, where the weights stay together. See how the words don't even match up? Did you notice that?
I did not. They do, though. Installments and installment. I just didn't take it right. It does. But no, I did not. But to me, it matches up.
It actually does. It's from the ribs are different.
I mean, to me, it looks like.
I got it.
So I don't honestly how it's different.
So the ticket's problematic for you. And the reason why it's problematic is because you signed some documents that said this ticket's mine under penalty of perjury and under penalty of fraud.
Right.
The ticket's not altered. Ticket's not.
I just stuck it back together. I didn't know.
Well, you have to understand the position we're in. You're saying you honestly did that.
I did. I mean, I just stuck it back together. I thought they went together.
So what's the probability of two tickets getting ripped?
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that goes together.
It doesn't.
I don't know how it doesn't go together. There's no way.
So we have a laboratory, Tallahassee. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
And we take the tickets apart. And
I'm not understanding because I don't see how it would.
This was 100%, two different tickets.
I mean, I see what you're saying with the numbers. I'm getting that, but I'm not understanding how that's crazy.
I'm asking you that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how it could be two different tickets, but I see what you're saying about the numbers.
Right.
I do.
Well, I'm not trying to trick you with any falsehood. This is actually two different tickets,
crazy.
100%.
I don't, my brain is all from the trauma. I don't remember everything. But
What kind of trauma?
My life. I've gone through, like, shit.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But today, there's no trauma for you, correct?
I mean, I wasn't expecting to be interrogated.
Sure.
But not necessarily it's trauma.
You got you. You feel comfortable talking about this? Tell us the truth?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't feel intimidated or anything. I'm just, like, kind of shocked.
Well, you just want to get down to the bottom.
And confused. Because I was like, it's not about the money to me at all. I would never do anything like that. I walked away from making like 40 grand a month, like, and my divorce, I just walked away.
Mm.
Like, yeah, it helps, but I could care less about it.
Have you ever filled out a check before?
Filled out a check?
Yeah, or got a check.
Like written one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not a paycheck. You got a paycheck before, right?
Yeah.
So if you imagine if somebody mistakenly put two pieces of two different checks together.
I could see that looking really bad, yes.
Right.
So I understand that people intentionally do that.
Right.
I would never intentionally do that. I know that's not allowed. You don't do that.
Okay.
That I know that it's not okay. I would not ever intentionally.
It's almost the same.
Like, that is not okay. The way I think it was like, oh, it's the same as cash. Like, they'll still take a $5 bill if it's, if you put it back together.
If it's the same bill.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought they still take money if it's, because that's happened to me too. Like, so that's all I thought.
Okay.
I would never do anything like that. Like, so, I know that's wrong. Like, I would.
So this is similar. Could that be wrong too?
Similar to what?
To putting two checks together and make one?
I can see where you guys are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I see where it looks bad.
Right.
I can see your side.
Thank you.
I mean, like, I honestly would never do that. Ever. I know that's wrong.
I think she'd get on my last nerve.
I'm always amused by a person who's stupid and doesn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether she's stupid in all walks of life or just in this interrogation, she finally realizes, I think, that she's in trouble, but not really to the degree she's in trouble. Like, this is like being called to the office almost.
Yeah. This is a weird case that, what does it take to walk in there, head held high, into the official lottery office? What does that take?
Well, how does the discussion, Chase, you and I decide we're going to do it? How's it go? Hey, Chase, I got a great idea. We're going to cut 2 lottery tickets. And
That's what happened. That's what happened. I'm telling you, man. And it was her idea because she's the one cashing it in. She's the hero.
So what does Chase say, or what does that guy say? Oh, brilliant.
Oda.
Nobody's ever thought of it.
Yeah. And he okayed it. That's the thing. You always talk about it's the people who you hang around with. That's the kind of person that
Tastes
you
like what
hang
you
around.
swim in.
Yeah, you know, you want to be the kind of, you want to have the kind of people around you that you want to be. Well, she didn't notch up, because anybody would say, "Hey man, don't do that. That's not good. You think they're going to believe that?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it," because he probably thinks she's going to be the one who gets in trouble, and he still gets half if she goes to the pokey, and he's going to go too, I think. And then he talks about how he's got those fingerprints under the tape, because his fingerprints are, you know, if they're going to be prints on there, if there were any, his are going to be on there too.
But for me, it doesn't matter whether there's fingerprints on it.
It doesn't.
Well, anyway, you know, she's given an out by, you know, what if mistakenly two tickets were put together?
Yeah.
That's an out of like, yeah, that's a point. I remember.
I fell on it. Tore it in half.
Yeah, I fell on it. Yeah, no, I remember. I had all the tickets there. I was so annoyed because I didn't think I'd won. I sliced through them all. I threw them out the car. And then the next day I'm thinking, I didn't really look at them properly. I put them back together and I realized I'd got a winning ticket. So I laminated it, and yeah.
That would be a good start.
It's rational.
You're right. You're right. It was a mistake. Thank you.
But she talks herself right into guilt. Look, I know I didn't intentionally do it. I know that's wrong.
Yeah. And that's why I say, like, I don't think this is a first.
No.
This may be the first time doing the old shredded ticket routine.
Right.
But I think there's been other things. This is
And the
probably
first time
somewhere.
doing a crime that the makers of these tickets, they're getting this like thousands of times a week. Like, it's that guy's job.
Yeah.
To do this many, many times a week.
We got to ask yourself a question. When you go to sit down and a guy comes in, he's an investigator. How many times that must happen in a given year for them to hire full-time a guy who investigates lottery fraud?
And he's not like, you know, many police investigators would be, whereby it's a different thing every week. You know, it might be very rarely a murder. It's a lot of this, a lot of that. Now and again, very rarely this. For this guy, it's tickets again and again. And what do you got?
He sold like 5,000 a year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy to think.
Yeah, he says, I see about 5,000 of these a year.
Right.
That's crazy.
5,000.
Right.
100 a week.
Oof. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she hasn't. I mean, it is the stupidity of not having a story to deconflict the fact that there's two separate numbers. She knows there's two separate numbers as well, because she's tried to scrub one of those numbers off, hasn't she?
Well, she's done something weird to the top of the ticket. I'm not sure what, because she re-laminated the top of the ticket after she made a mistake. But look, I don't think they thought this out. I think they had to your point, they didn't notice the two different numbers probably, or they would have scrubbed a number off. It would
Did she laminate the whole ticket like with a laminator? Is that what he's talking about?
No, strapping tape, like shipping tape.
So she's put tape all over it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Artsy craftsy, jailsy time. You guys want to do this for this one instead of a classic?
You know, like the lottery, they know the serial number of the ticket that is going to have the winning thing on it.
Yeah, of course.
So even if you had a ticket that looked perfect, it wouldn't match up in their little Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to know that.
Well, they got AI. Look, they're one of the biggest businesses in America. They run that thing through the reader, and there's all kinds of AI, I'm sure, associated with patterns of where things were bought. It doesn't take much. Like you say, a spreadsheet, this ticket is at this place.
Yeah, because this is a scratch card, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the ticket knows that it's a winning ticket. There's no numbers drawn from anywhere else.
No.
It knows that it's a winning ticket.
Serial number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's $50, man.
I won tickets to the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah, I did. I played lottery online. I don't do it even that way anymore, but I played lottery online, and they just automatically re-entered your tickets if you didn't win that week. And I won tickets to the Super Bowl when it was in
When
Atlanta.
was this?
What's that? Few years back, 5 years. Whenever the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, when they played when New England and LA were playing.
Did you go?
So let's do.
Yeah, of course I went.
Let's do best thing you've ever won. Okay. Best thing I ever won was a Damien Hirst spin painting. I got a golden ticket in a magazine. Yeah. They've got, you know, X amount of golden tickets. If you get a golden ticket, you win a Damien Hirst spin painting. I buy the magazine, I open it up, I've got the golden ticket.
Wow.
Badass.
Wow, that's something big. I think the Super Bowl may be the biggest thing I've ever won.
Chase, what about you?
When I was in the military, we'd always have these raffles during the Christmas ball.
Yeah.
And they'd wait until the end for the big prizes just to keep everybody hanging around. But I won a Nintendo Switch that my kids were asking for, and I could not afford. So
That's nice.
it was
Very
great.
good.
It was good.
I win stuff all the time. And I'm going to say this, you're not going to believe it. I'm the luckiest person you've ever met in your life. I really am. I've won stuff since I was a kid. I won a pocket fisherman once when I was a kid. I won a CB once when I was a kid. I won stuff all the time growing up. And I win all the time. I mean, if I enter it, everybody goes, you're probably going to win. I win them. I don't know why that is, but I do. I'm lucky. I win stuff. So I've won big stuff and little stuff, all kinds of stuff. What?
But do
Lottery's
you
900 million. Play it.
yeah,
Don't fake your ticket, or
Do
we'll be
you-
talking about you.
enter more?
do that.
I mean, do you like purposely enter stuff, or is this just stuff that you win like
No, if I put my name in it, hey, man.
you win it?
Not every time, but I'm dang lucky on that.
Right.
That's cool.
You know, the
Play
last
lottery.
time my brother and I played the lottery, we were just getting gas and we won $1,000.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, 8 months
Speaking
ago.
of lottery, I'll ask one more time. If you are watching and you're going to commit a crime, please do it in Florida because they release all the videos and these are great.
Yeah. What's that city we can't go to in Florida? Because
Orlando,
whoops.
the one where you, I think you called one of the cops fat and stupid.
He was.
Neither.
What did we do? What episode was that?
That was the one where so the woman had done something and the guy was on his
Sarah
phone
Boone, Sarah
texting.
Boone.
Oh,
Sarah Boone.
Oh yeah, the texting cop. Yeah.
The guy from Central Casting for Sex and the
Yeah,
City.
and
or
was he the
something,
guy who'd got the red
Purple.
like,
He had
kind of
the satin
silk
shirt
on?
Satin shirt, yeah.
Satin shirt.
It was
Yeah, that's
texting the whole time
That's fashion.
and talking while he was looking at his phone.
We've
now
also
we
knocked on him with the Disney house, Disney family too.
Oh, we knocked on how well they. We were covering. That was about how they covered it though, because we didn't see any of the officers because it was all done in court. Remember, that was
right.
that
Yeah.
guy's a fat stupid goofball.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just wrap this up,
All right,
It works, yeah.
let's do
I
it.
think. All right, Mark. Well, let's talk about what you've seen so far. How's it looking to you?
Yeah, just the level of stupidity. I think everybody can see in this, you know, what those clusters are. Certainly, look, if you're a subscriber, you've watched a lot of us, and thanks for that always. So you've seen those clusters. So maybe like me, you're just horrified at the level of stupidity of this fraudster because, look, you know, nobody should commit a crime, but actually entertainment is made up of a lot of antisocial acts. If you watch any TV show, you know, if you watch our show, really, we're looking at antisocial acts and we're picking those apart. We're very entertained as human beings by people doing the wrong thing. So doing the wrong thing is very entertaining. And so anything that involves fraud can be quite entertaining. A heist is super entertaining. It's a crime, but it's super entertaining for us because we're like, wow, you managed to get through the system. You managed to, you know, beat the man. You managed to outthink all those people who were trying to pull one over on you and hold you back. But here's somebody who has not outthought it at all, who has been really ridiculously stupid, her and her friend Dakota. And it's just really a bit tawdry and saddening, really, because it would be a great story. It would be a great story if she managed to pull off this incredible fraud and win $1 million with a fraudulent, you know, ticket. But she hasn't. She's an idiot. Chase, what do you got on this?
Yeah, it's a case of Ocean's 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
That's what happened here. And I'm wondering if she thought the gas stations that she took the ticket to would just open the register and there'd be $1 million inside of that register. I'm wondering what she's been able to get away with in her own past to get to the point where she would drive to the lottery office and slide this thing across the counter to an official. I'm wondering. And what internal psychology she has that allowed for her unusual level of comfort in the beginning of this. This is a great training video. It's got all of the hallmarks that we always talk about, but it's just fascinating. She seems coherent. She's well-spoken, but she drives there with this crappy, horrible lottery ticket and confidently like slides it across the table. And then it's like, oh, we need you to go into this interview room here. Okay, where's it at? Show me the way. And sits down. That's just fascinating to me. Greg?
Because she's always gotten away with whatever she's doing.
How was that? I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
That's okay. Scott will repeat it. It'll be good. I'm never shy about that kind of thing. So you guys know I do that all the time.
Greg. You're not.
I don't worry about it. Trust me. I've been in more compromising positions than that. But yeah, at the end, I love that look. So at the end of the day, what she's done her entire life, the organism does what. Oh, get out your bingo card, because I'm going to fill it up in this little conversation. Yeah. Fish tastes like what it swims in. She hangs out with stupid people. So she might be smartest person in the room. She's in the wrong room. Somebody's smarter than her here. The organism does what made the organism successful. This person has gotten away with a bunch of BS in her life, probably by flirting, flipping her hair, exposing her neck, and making good, friendly eye contact the way she did here. She's accustomed to deconflicting her story to the level she did here, and being smart enough, probably agile enough to get herself out of the situation quickly enough that it doesn't escalate and it doesn't get this far. But she's not smart enough to create something that's believable enough to pass scrutiny, and even normal scrutiny. If you handed that to a 12-year-old, they go, this is BS. Somebody made this up. They would know that's not real. Why would you? To your point, Chase, it screams low IQ that you walk in and lay it down on a counter in an official government place. And let's make it even worse, even if it didn't scan. Now what? And to your point, maybe she thought she'd get $1 million there. She probably bought a big suitcase with her to the lottery place. She'll need that to pack and go to jail, but that's that. Scott, what do you got?
Yeah, I really like this one. I think you're right. I think we saw everything all the biggies in here, and every now and then we'll run across something like this where we'll see just about everything, but this was a really good one because we saw somebody coming in with confidence, who's got a job where she needs confidence and uses that every day. And she couldn't talk her way out of this. She tried, but it's the bad planning. It's the no deconflicting on her part when it comes to this. I think that's what the problem was, trying to cheat the lottery. But I don't think when she went in there, I don't think they said go into the interview room. They said, oh, this fella going to come here and talk to you for a minute. I think that's might have been what happened. They didn't say, this looks weird to me. Let's go talk to this guy, because I don't think she looked ready.
Let's validate it. Let's validate your ticket. That's
yeah. So get her locked away. Now, I don't know what this guy's powers are with the law. Could he arrest her? What's this guy do? Is he?
Well, they read her rights before.
Oh, well then, yeah, she's in big trouble.
Because she signed something. He said, that's just a formality as we were coming in. I was like, yeah, anything you signed is not a formality. That's not the way this works.
See, that's what I want to take Mark with me, because your take on it earlier, Mark, is I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Always make a call to me when you're deconflicting. I've got a vivid imagination.
Give me my $1 million. That's what that's what I'd want.
Yeah. But I think that she was arrested way later on.
Yeah, I think that's the case. They investigated. This guy's the investigator, and I think the arrest came later. But they were both arrested and charged with. I think I called out what it was, but with felony.
This?
2024. I don't think they've gone to trial yet.
Where was
put it down below? Florida.
Oh. And I think also, point of order, that this interview happens sometime after she's actually lodged the ticket with them. I'm not sure it's even immediate.
I didn't see that. So in April 2024, they were arrested after trying to claim a $1 million prize and fraudulent scratch-off ticket. The pair had crudely taped 2 winning $50 tickets together to create a fake winning one. They were arrested on felony, fraud, and grand theft charges.
Oof.
Is this actually a government lottery?
Yes.
Oh, it is. So is it federal? Is this a federal? Is this a federal kind of level of fraud? Do you think?
Well, and it could be RICO. There could be all kinds of stuff associated with that. Yeah.
I think let's just say there's a chance maybe it's an accident. Maybe like there were 2 tickets. She found some.
I fell on them.
Who knows?
Mark's was good. Mark's thing was I tore him up, but I could have. I think that might have been a little problem for him if you could sell it, which I don't think she could.
No.
I don't think she could pull it off. You could, Mark, but I don't think she could. You could act
Yeah.
like that was okay, and I think
And you know what you
could
would
pull it
say? Nice to meet you. I got somebody to introduce you to.
Yeah. Yeah. I would not get myself in that situation in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you came to me going, hey, how about we do this? I would go, here's all the reasons I can imagine why that won't work. And now I'm going to investigate all the reasons I can't even imagine why it won't work. And maybe by doing that, I'll come up with a way that this could work. But my instant reaction is this will never, utter pessimism.
You
This
know,
will
my
never
answer
work.
would be, I'm not a criminal. If I were, I would be a pretty stupid one. You know, if I was doing this, because I've not done it. There are really, really brilliant criminals out there, and they're not successful.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas, things another good one, and we'll see you next time.
The behavior panel.
That was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun, guys.
That was good.
Let's see how that goes in the comments.